All right, so next we're going to talk about preschoolers. In terms of physiologic development, the growth rate kind of stabilizes and their proportions get a little bit more childlike. So the head growth slows down some, the torso continues to grow, kind of catches up a little bit, but that growth rate stabilizes, so they're growing slower. Major milestones, they should be able to run, jump, and climb by age 5. Usually hop on one foot around age 4, skip with the alternate feet age 5, and they may be entering preschool or kindergarten. Now, preschool really should still be play-based primarily. They learn by playing, they learn by imitation. So they need lots and lots of free play time and begin to learn the structure of not always getting to do what they want right this minute. Psychosocial development, Erickson's conflict for preschool is initiative versus guilt. And this is a little slight transition from toddler where it's autonomy. I'm figuring out that I can control some things. I want to do it. Preschoolers want it to be their idea. Initiative versus guilt. They begin to develop a conscience and they feel badly when they don't behave as expected. And this is when they first just begin to be able to put themselves in the other person's shoes. Now, it is very, very developing at this point, and even early school age kids don't really, their empathy can still be developing. So, but they, in the preschool years, they can begin to be able to put themselves in the other shoes somewhat. You also still have a lot of magical thinking. They may think that they can make something true by saying it, like I cleaned my room. They may really believe in monsters, or they're still on the verge of, do I believe or not believe in monsters and things like that. So preschoolers will say things that are untrue, but it's really hard to determine whether they're lying or whether they think that's true because they have some magical thinking and they think they can make it true by saying it. Anticipatory guidance, feeding preschoolers, continue what we did for toddlers. We want to have the parents in control of what's available, the child in control of what out of that goes into their bodies. Sleep, preschoolers now may have some trouble sleeping because of nightmares or fears. So interventions that can decrease their fear and anxiety can actually help them to sleep better, like a nightlight, monster spray, things like that. They still learn a lot through play. Play becomes more imitative. They're trying to do what the big people are doing, so they will pretend to do house chores, pretend to do work like their parents' work, things like that. Discipline. Preschoolers still are not always very rational, and so they still need some limits, and they still may need to be physically removed from a location at times. But we want to encourage parents to use natural and logical consequences in discipline when that's possible. Explain the reason for the rules, but still enforce the rules. Rules should usually be kept fairly simple and few. Preschoolers should be able to explore the world around them safely to some extent for their development. Safety, again, we're looking at pedestrian versus auto. A preschooler may know intellectually now that that car can hurt him, but when the ball goes into the street, they're still going to chase the ball. Or if they see something that they want across the parking lot, oh, that's pretty, and take off. So we still have to be really cautious about letting them have freedom to run around where they may get hit. MVA, they still need to be in a car seat that is correct for their size, correctly installed in the correct location. They may be now using tricycles and bicycles. They should be using helmets with those. Teach helmet and get them in the habit of helmets early on. That was not really much of a thing in my childhood. So it's kind of like when I was a kid, they were very big on, oh, all kids have to wear seatbelts. And that wasn't a thing when my parents were growing up. So kind of bike helmets have become one of those things. But head injuries from bike accidents are potentially devastating. Drowning is another risk. Preschoolers may have learned to swim, or they may think they can swim. And so they may try to go get in the pool and swim, not really understanding why they have to have an adult present. So again, the pool needs to be behind a fence, needs to not be accessible. Kids need to be monitored while they're playing in the water, etc. Okay, the next section will be about school age kids.